Today we're going to be talking about quitting drinking or quitting drunkenness. Now, I'll be honest with you and candid at the start of the video. I've never had a drinking problem. I've actually never even drunk alcohol before, so I don't know that I fully relate with people who have had drinking problems or struggle with this. But I've been addicted to other things such as pornography and bad eating habits in the past. So I can draw a little bit of that. But the first thing you need to know when you're trying to overcome any kind of sinful habit or any kind of addiction of any kind is the reason why you run towards this addiction. This addiction has become your friend whenever you feel negative emotions. When you become depressed, when you become angry, when you become emasculated, when you got that general worthless feeling like things didn't go right. This is kind of the pity party you throw for yourself. For some of you, it could be you start to feel kind of like you're worthless or you're insecure or things like this. Maybe you're super stressed out or super worried about something. All of these kinds of negative emotions, grief, depression, is going to increase your desire to drink alcohol because getting drunk temporarily relieves you of those negative emotions until the hangover comes the next day, and then it's usually worse. But that's how these sensual pleasures typically are. They temporarily give us a relief, and that's why we are tempted towards them, but they don't last. And you find yourself having to up it and up it and up it in order to be able to get the same relief from it that you got previously. So the reality is, the more that you do this, the less effective the drinking will actually be on you, and eventually you'll get to the point where you have to drink a whole lot more just to be able to get drunk, and you'll have to drink a whole lot more just to get that same good feeling. And it's a destructive habit, because after a person drinks, they feel, after it wears off, they feel worse than they did before, and it's a never-ending cycle. Alright? So you need to understand that it's your negative emotions. It's you not being able to control your negative emotions that's led you here. The only thing different between you and somebody who eats their sorrows away, or someone who smokes their sorrows away, or someone who masturbates their sorrows away, the only difference between you and them is that you turn to alcohol at some point in your life to be this thing to soothe you, and it become an addiction. So I feel like people often look at people with an alcohol problem as a worse person than someone who has a problem with some other kind of addiction, but the reality is it's the same thing that led you here that leads people to their problem. Not being able to cope with your negative emotions. So you need to recognize that that is the primary reason why you keep turning back to this addiction. You can apply this to anything. So, that's just the first step of it. So you need to know that the main days you're going to be tempted towards alcohol is on days where you have been experiencing a lot of negative emotions. And if you're somebody that feels like every day is like that, then that's why you're tempted every day. So the best thing to do is get rid of the alcohol that's in your house, and then you don't have to worry about what if I have a hankering for it. It don't matter if you have a hankering for it if it's not in your house, because you're out of luck. So that's what you need to do, is eliminate the alcohol in your house. Now, I know that there are Christians that will tell you it's okay to drink in moderation. We do have examples of Jesus giving people wine, but the reality is that was for people that could hold liquor. The disciples were not drunk, so yeah, it is okay to have some wine if you are not a drunk, right? But if you're someone who is struggling with drunkenness, then it isn't wise to have wine in moderation, because one cup in moderation could lead to another night of being drunk for you. So you got to cover your own back. You got to know what's wise and what's unwise for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you're someone who finds yourself getting drunk all the time, then it would be unwise for you to drink in moderation. You should use grape juice when you take communion, which that's what I do whenever I've took it. Alright, so, and there'll be people that'll say we're wrong for that, but I don't think it's wise to give people who are repented drunks alcohol. So I don't do that. So I do grape juice. All right. So there you go. And obviously, the more you walk with the Lord, the more you grow in your love for God and your love for other people. Um, and the more you grow in your knowledge of how much God loves you, all of these things is going to help you to be able to overcome this. Making your life about Jesus and having a relationship with the Lord over time will also help you combat that problem. So, God bless for watching.